None of us had ever flown low-wing monoplanes before. And suddenly we were faced with these fearsome aeroplanes called Spitfires. And all the training you had was to sit in the hangar with a blindfold around your eyes and the Spitfires on trestles. And you felt around the cockpit trying to identify all the tits and bits, pulling the wheels up and put the flaps down, etc., etc., for half a day. And introduced your aeroplane and to get on with it.
Gives you goosebumps all over, doesn't it?
Yes,
it does me. Quite literally.
I can remember this line-up of Spitfires and thinking, my goodness, that's going to be something.
We walked over to this thing, we looked at it, we stroked it. I fell in love with it. We just had one Spitfire, but then a couple of days later, 15 more turned up, and we were a fighter squadron.
Same compass, though. No, it's split flap underneath the wing.
Underneath the wing, okay.
It's very business-like on the inside. There's not many frills around, not many cushions in the seat either.
It was the latest and fastest thing, and a little bit daunting when somebody said, there's one, go and have a go at it, see how you get on.
It's completely different to a Cessna 150. It's a different ball game altogether. It's a fighter.
There were no pilot's notes in those days. All we were given was a quarto sheet of paper with the climbing speed, stalling speed, cruising speed and cruising revs. That was about it.
To step from a Tiger Moth and step into a Spitfire is huge step. And these people that had to do it in 1940, it's pretty special, big step.
Somebody took you out and showed you, the stick and things like that.
This is the propeller, the RPM.
Our introduction was to a test pilot who just said, well, this is the petrol system.
That's the engine instruments, there's your flying plan. It's easy, no trouble at all, is it?
You had things that went up and down and roundabout, undercarriages that went up, flaps that came down, and all this kind of thing. We're completely unused to them.
Excuse me, would you tell me how to start the thing, You press that button.
And the very best of luck.
The whole plane as a whole is awe-inspiring. I think when you look inside the cockpit, though, it makes you feel maybe nervous, I suppose. Thinking it's reality is I'm going to be flying this thing in a short while, so a little nervous, if anything, really. It should be fun. Very, 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 very excited.
One thing's very striking in reading the accounts of pilots' first meetings with this aircraft is that they always use the same analogy. This aircraft, which after all is a very phallic-looking machine, is always female. She's always glamorous, she's always a lady, and she's their girlfriend. And the vast majority of them fall in love with her and make love to her when they fly. And the Spitfire has, to a degree unmatched, I think, by any other aircraft, the power of eros behind it. These are young men of 18, 20, laden with testosterone. And what do? They transfer all their fantasies to this machine. And it seems to invite them, even to crowds who watch them at air shows today.
Dave is about to take off for his first flight in the Spitfire. But he won't just be a passenger. When the plane is airborne, he will be in full control of this historic aircraft.
Okay.
You'll never believe the feeling to sit in a Spitfire for the first time. Oh, it was never nothing like it.
Okay, we're in.
You're in.
Apart from the Spitfire being a beautiful aircraft to look at, nice and small, and you fitted into it beautifully, it also had a wonderful smell. I love the smell of a Spitfire. Whether it be the oil, the smell from the engine exhaust as well, but I felt at home with it.
So we'll put this on now. I'm going to help you with this.
You've sat in the cockpit a long time, a chap over your shoulder, showing you everything, and saying how things behaved, but you didn't know how it was going to behave until you actually flew it. Quite a moment. Big gulp before you start off. Yes, it is a big moment in one's life.
I'm a lot more relaxed now. The aircraft after we've walked around the aircraft, you get to know the aircraft more. I'm sure it's going to be completely different when the big Merlin engine swings into action and the noise, but I'm excited now. Yeah, very excited. I just want to get airborne and see how it feels.
I was amazed at the vibration and the terrific din. You've got 1,500 horsepower just 6 feet away from you in front there, and the exhaust pipes are only this long, and they're out here, and they're pointing straight at you. So if it weren't for the cockpit being closed and your mouths over ears and so on, it's almost unbearable. How the airmen cope with it, I don't know.
You get into this thing and you taxi out and you can't see a thing in front of you because the nose is stuck right up in the air. So you have to keep going from side to side on the way out, then you line up and you open the throttle and that almighty warmth hits you.
Camera's closed.
It's closed. I'm just going to put the main fuel tank on again now.
Okay, knees out the way.
And we are ready to go.
When you open that throttle to take off, it just, compared with previous aircraft, it just dragged you along at fantastic speed into the air. It was very much like what later flying jet aircraft was like. It was this huge thrust and power.
Bring the RPM back to 2650.
Sensation in getting a Spitfire airborne, even in later years, was always quite a thrill, quite exciting. Never lost it.
So I'll just bring the boost back, which is the throttle, back to +4, and I'll bring the RPM back to 2400.
The takeoff was something like I'd never experienced before. The acceleration was a little bit awe-inspiring. But once you got it into the air, you obviously had a beautiful aeroplane, and you settled down in it very quickly.
Now what you want to be doing is to look straight ahead and to get the picture that we've got out the front at the moment and fly that picture, okay? The same as you would in any other aeroplane.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give control to you, so you have control.
I have control?
You have control.
Okay.
Okay, just keep that picture out the front.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Just relax. Keep the straight level, that's perfect.
It was totally different than any other aircraft you'd flown. I mean, the handling qualities, and it was a wonderful thrill. You were airborne in a Spitfire.
Okay.
No problem. And we'll take this opportunity to climb. So if you climb for me,
Okay.
just climb it up gently, and then go to the right. That's about enough angle of bank, that's right.
So much more relaxed than I thought it would be.
It's amazingly responsive, isn't it?
It behaved so well the whole time. It had the most wonderful characteristics. I think everybody who's flown Spitfires would agree with that.